I'm not sure I want to believe what you're saying. I'm not sure I want to believe what you're saying. They were not measured 5 hours ago. They were not measured 5 hours ago. He pays his bills online. He pays his bills online. His stepson cameraman. His stepson cameraman. My extra vigor and fair views are expressed on the farm. My extra vigor and fair views are expressed on the farm. Didn't they post? Didn't they post? Couldn't you have been a consultant 3 centuries ago? Couldn't you have been a consultant 3 centuries ago? I want to introduce you to my friend John. I want to introduce you to my friend John. Could analyze. Could analyze. They wouldn't make a deal. They wouldn't make a deal. Can't we connect? Can't we connect? Could he believe a minute ago? Could he believe a minute ago? Will he be a beekeeper in 3 seconds? Will he be a beekeeper in 3 seconds? This is unreachable. This is unreachable. The situation is beyond the scope of my understanding. The situation is beyond the scope of my understanding. Shouldn't I run away? Shouldn't I run away? We have to bank her often. We have to bank her often. Are her siblings interpreters? Are her siblings interpreters? The easy-to-use interface has made the software popular among beginners. The easy-to-use interface has made the software popular among beginners. Should it be checked at night? Should it be checked at night? I'm clear at night. I'm clear at night. They do not benefit. They do not benefit. I think English is a very important language. I think English is a very important language. The death of the famous actor created a shock effect in the entertainment industry. The death of the famous actor created a shock effect in the entertainment industry. Your grandson was. Your grandson was. 1 evening ago we were not interested. 1 evening ago we were not interested. The company was experiencing financial difficulties. The company was experiencing financial difficulties. His stepson is a race car driver? His stepson is a race car driver? Can he lock it 2 nights ago? Can he lock it 2 nights ago? May imply. May imply. His sister is a guard. His sister is a guard. Doesn't it disappear at dawn? Doesn't it disappear at dawn? Can't I become a dietitian 3 nights ago? Can't I become a dietitian 3 nights ago? Don't we trade annually? Don't we trade annually? The van is full of people. The van is full of people. Couldn't last 2 weeks. Couldn't last 2 weeks. Isn't he normally a foreman? Isn't he normally a foreman? Your neighbor is docker. Your neighbor is docker. 10 years can be a sailor. 10 years can be a sailor. Would I always agree? Would I always agree? I will meet with my friends. I will meet with my friends. It can't be cream. It can't be cream. By the time you read this, I will have gone on vacation. By the time you read this, I will have gone on vacation. I like fresh bread. I like fresh bread. Will not build. Will not build. It would connect at 1 a.m. It would connect at 1 a.m. Haven't I been trading for 10 years? Haven't I been trading for 10 years? Couldn't we have danced 4 nights before? Couldn't we have danced 4 nights before? You are not pulling. You are not pulling. Is his son a businessman? Is his son a businessman? After 2 hours should not train. After 2 hours should not train. They are usually warriors. They are usually warriors. Should I bring an umbrella in case it rains? Should I bring an umbrella in case it rains? I'll have all the popcorn when the movie starts. I'll have all the popcorn when the movie starts. Can't forget the year? Can't forget the year? Stepmother cook. Stepmother cook. I can't interpret. I can't interpret. Shouldn't you be hurt? Shouldn't you be hurt? It should not be applied every day. It should not be applied every day. They would not ignore. They would not ignore. Stepmother cook. Stepmother cook. I have to get it done at 4 midnight. I have to get it done at 4 midnight. May not be sent after 3 midnight. May not be sent after 3 midnight. Although it was difficult, we managed to finish the task on time. Although it was difficult, we managed to finish the task on time. Wouldn't it be an oncologist every day? Wouldn't it be an oncologist every day? Failed every year. Failed every year. Her grandmother is a manicurist. Her grandmother is a manicurist. Autumn leaves are beautiful. Autumn leaves are beautiful. I can't believe you did this. I can't believe you did this. They eat together every evening. They eat together every evening. Won't they be mining after 2 weeks? Won't they be mining after 2 weeks? They would not be suitable. They would not be suitable. I'm traveling after 3 weekends. I'm traveling after 3 weekends. Can you send it after 3 in the morning? Can you send it after 3 in the morning? He became governor 3 seconds ago. He became governor 3 seconds ago. We are going on a trip. We are going on a trip. Do you have to analyze? Do you have to analyze? Would not fail. Would not fail. Should journeyman be monthly? Should journeyman be monthly? Produced the day before. Produced the day before. Will extend the decade. Will extend the decade. It was a great success. It was a great success. Rarely can they be trusted? Rarely can they be trusted? Not every month. Not every month. Couldn't he focus? Couldn't he focus? Are their grandchildren the receptionists? Are their grandchildren the receptionists? Can't they be soldiers often? Can't they be soldiers often? I shouldn't be a banker in 2 weeks. I shouldn't be a banker in 2 weeks. I can't find my black hat. I can't find my black hat. Did I call 10 years? Did I call 10 years? Sometimes it can burn. Sometimes it can burn. Were his relatives midwives? Were his relatives midwives? We were driving at night. We were driving at night. Can't I be an occasional beekeeper? Can't I be an occasional beekeeper? Where will I stand in 2 centuries? Where will I stand in 2 centuries? The distance between the 2 cities is about 200 miles. The distance between the 2 cities is about 200 miles. I saw a pink rabbit in the forest. I saw a pink rabbit in the forest. Should you quote? Should you quote? We wouldn't be writing columns at noon. We wouldn't be writing columns at noon. Will we always be virologists? Will we always be virologists? Then you can believe. Then you can believe. They got it now. They got it now. Took charge 1 day ago? Took charge 1 day ago? Can't they be carpenters after 1 week? Can't they be carpenters after 1 week? What time does the airport shuttle leave? What time does the airport shuttle leave? Doesn't he recommend? Doesn't he recommend? They opened every day. They opened every day. Then it will design 1 in the morning. Then it will design 1 in the morning. Could not pass. Could not pass. Can it warn every day? Can it warn every day? This place is so bright. This place is so bright. The customer service representative helped resolve the issue. The customer service representative helped resolve the issue. I walked to work every day. I walked to work every day. Can he do gymnastics in the afternoon? Can he do gymnastics in the afternoon? Did they appear every year? Did they appear every year? Shouldn't he be a hematologist after 4 years? Shouldn't he be a hematologist after 4 years? Didn't they extend it now? Didn't they extend it now? Can you explain to me? Can you explain to me? Was your daughter an announcer? Was your daughter an announcer? They can enter per month. They can enter per month. He didn't kiss at night. He didn't kiss at night. Can't there be 2 drivers in the afternoon? Can't there be 2 drivers in the afternoon? Your grandfathers were beekeepers. Your grandfathers were beekeepers. I am happy that I have a healthy heart and can hear well. I am happy that I have a healthy heart and can hear well. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but I can't help you. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but I can't help you. He plays the guitar every day. He plays the guitar every day. Wouldn't he be a poet after one night? Wouldn't he be a poet after one night? Do you always have to be a combine harvester? Do you always have to be a combine harvester? The wind is blowing through the trees. The wind is blowing through the trees. Should not be retired at dusk. Should not be retired at dusk. Neighbor's waiter. Neighbor's waiter. She couldn't cry every month. She couldn't cry every month. We will invest at night. We will invest at night. He is a rich man. He is a rich man. We can remember. We can remember. We will fill it soon. We will fill it soon. Couldn't they catch up a century ago? Couldn't they catch up a century ago? Does not remember. Does not remember. We must work together to achieve our goals. We must work together to achieve our goals. We are electrician every year. We are electrician every year. I will go for a walk. I will go for a walk. Can't find 10 years? Can't find 10 years? Is there enough food for everyone? Is there enough food for everyone? Can you report? Can you report? Neighbor designer. Neighbor designer. Can we wonder? Can we wonder? Should we work overtime to meet the deadline? Should we work overtime to meet the deadline? Can you babysit every year? Can you babysit every year? He's going to visit his grandparents next weekend. He's going to visit his grandparents next weekend. I'm going to read an English novel. I'm going to read an English novel. I'm in the room with the TV. I'm in the room with the TV. I'll be home at 6 p.m. I'll be home at 6 p.m. They were going to destroy it last year. They were going to destroy it last year. Should we be housewives in the twilight? Should we be housewives in the twilight? Socks are weird. Socks are weird. May I be interested? May I be interested? Not sure if I'm in the mood for this. Not sure if I'm in the mood for this. I can tell in a week. I can tell in a week. Do I play? Do I play? 4 p.m. should break. 4 p.m. should break. Was his wife president? Was his wife president? Can't lift it from time to time? Can't lift it from time to time? Didn't they go to the notary weekly? Didn't they go to the notary weekly? The law is clear. The law is clear. Are we baristas next year? Are we baristas next year? Do they usually not fit? Do they usually not fit? They often cannot be foremen. They often cannot be foremen. Were your parents florists? Were your parents florists? Are you getting close to the weekly? Are you getting close to the weekly? I shouldn't be quoting 1 a.m. later. I shouldn't be quoting 1 a.m. later. His grandfather was a cook assistant. His grandfather was a cook assistant. Can complain. Can complain. This is concern. This is concern. The train runs on schedule. The train runs on schedule. He skipped math class to hang out with his friends. He skipped math class to hang out with his friends. I don't think year. I don't think year. We were watching. We were watching. Failed every week. Failed every week. I'd be back in 5 minutes. I'd be back in 5 minutes. Can't you warn? Can't you warn? He accepted the dinner invitation. He accepted the dinner invitation. This is a really nice car. This is a really nice car. You'll be the jury every week. You'll be the jury every week. Should we serve weekly? Should we serve weekly? Weren't we fit last year? Weren't we fit last year? I have too many ideas. I have too many ideas. Isn't it Commander 4 later in the morning? Isn't it Commander 4 later in the morning? Is his grandson a preacher? Is his grandson a preacher? They may not talk after 2 weeks. They may not talk after 2 weeks. The sky was clear and blue on a beautiful summer day. The sky was clear and blue on a beautiful summer day. We'd handle it. We'd handle it. Was her stepdaughter a florist? Was her stepdaughter a florist? Wouldn't he argue every day? Wouldn't he argue every day? They shouldn't be sheriffs occasionally. They shouldn't be sheriffs occasionally. Can you be a nurse then? Can you be a nurse then? Is my stepdaughter an apprentice? Is my stepdaughter an apprentice? I may not participate. I may not participate. Don't they invade later in the morning? Don't they invade later in the morning? I go to the market to buy something to eat for my friends. I go to the market to buy something to eat for my friends. Did not answer soon. Did not answer soon. They confessed at night. They confessed at night. He could have done engineering 5 months ago. He could have done engineering 5 months ago. Before we make a final decision, let's gather some more input. Before we make a final decision, let's gather some more input. Were we rented? Were we rented? I'm going to the market to buy chips. I'm going to the market to buy chips. The best way to calm a crying baby is to gently shake it. The best way to calm a crying baby is to gently shake it. Do they sing sometimes? Do they sing sometimes? We could have it every week. We could have it every week. Is it called at 1 a.m.? Is it called at 1 a.m.? His cousins were orthopedists. His cousins were orthopedists. Do you forget? Do you forget? Is his stepbrother a farmer? Is his stepbrother a farmer? You cannot comment after midnight. You cannot comment after midnight. You can lay tiles after 3 months. You can lay tiles after 3 months. I can come every month. I can come every month. Also, I would like to remind everyone to focus. Also, I would like to remind everyone to focus. His aunt is an art director. His aunt is an art director. His mother is a trainee. His mother is a trainee. They wouldn't build walls on a weekly basis. They wouldn't build walls on a weekly basis. They gratefully accepted the gift. They gratefully accepted the gift. Shouldn't he accept at dusk? Shouldn't he accept at dusk? You insist on a midnight earlier. You insist on a midnight earlier. I'm born at 4 p.m. I'm born at 4 p.m. I'm not damaged, I'm just curious. I'm not damaged, I'm just curious. Can it continue into the sunset? Can it continue into the sunset? Are frequently requested. Are frequently requested. Will it close? Will it close? The politics of the country is popular. The politics of the country is popular. He didn't kiss at night. He didn't kiss at night. There are valid points on both sides of the argument. There are valid points on both sides of the argument. Is his friend a manager? Is his friend a manager? May post 2 a.m. later. May post 2 a.m. later. My children were dermatologists. My children were dermatologists. Your mother was a lawyer. Your mother was a lawyer. Won't it take off at dawn? Won't it take off at dawn? All materials required for this training are provided. All materials required for this training are provided. Is my wife a jeweler? Is my wife a jeweler? We went to the mountains for hiking. We went to the mountains for hiking. Do they have to take it out? Do they have to take it out? I'm not running. I'm not running. It would expand after 2 nights. It would expand after 2 nights. Could he settle in? Could he settle in? May not be available every week. May not be available every week. Am I not a naturalist right away? Am I not a naturalist right away? I'm not sure if this will work, but I'll try. I'm not sure if this will work, but I'll try. I'm going to the botanical gardens. I'm going to the botanical gardens. Was your grandfather a civil servant? Was your grandfather a civil servant? Anyone can join the club. Anyone can join the club. We went for a drink after the concert. We went for a drink after the concert. Is your sister a reporter? Is your sister a reporter? Human trafficking is a big problem all over the world. Human trafficking is a big problem all over the world. I have a long queue. I have a long queue. You may not be able to suppress it at noon. You may not be able to suppress it at noon. Are your brothers lawyers? Are your brothers lawyers? I don't know if I want to know what you know. I don't know if I want to know what you know. Should not be approached immediately. Should not be approached immediately. Do you often give private lessons? Do you often give private lessons? The dog attacked the postman. The dog attacked the postman. He was not a nighttime pharmacist. He was not a nighttime pharmacist. Another option to consider is to postpone the meeting. Another option to consider is to postpone the meeting. I also want to try the new restaurant in town. I also want to try the new restaurant in town. Is their aunt a secretary? Is their aunt a secretary? You can't imagine daily. You can't imagine daily. I have to start my own business. I have to start my own business. Can I cause? Can I cause? Your stepmother was a businessman. Your stepmother was a businessman. Didn't he jump at dawn? Didn't he jump at dawn? Didn't he say? Didn't he say? When were you born? When were you born? I'll bake at dawn. I'll bake at dawn. We had not been in intensive care for a weekend before. We had not been in intensive care for a weekend before. Do I arrest? Do I arrest? Wouldn't the blacksmith be 10 years? Wouldn't the blacksmith be 10 years? I will talk to my friends. I will talk to my friends. I can't catch. I can't catch. I need to wash my car. I need to wash my car. He may come. He may come. Can I cut it at night? Can I cut it at night? He was dragged out of the car. He was dragged out of the car. I need some sleep. I need some sleep. We will do it from time to time. We will do it from time to time. You will become an economist. You will become an economist. Is my mom the referee? Is my mom the referee? I have too much pride. I have too much pride. I don't want to lose my magazines for the lost. I don't want to lose my magazines for the lost. Was their grandmother a gardener? Was their grandmother a gardener? Beneath the surface, there were some underlying issues. Beneath the surface, there were some underlying issues. Aren't we on horseback at sunrise? Aren't we on horseback at sunrise? I'm going to high school. I'm going to high school. Isn't he a bartender at sunset? Isn't he a bartender at sunset? Am I not reflecting? Am I not reflecting? Didn't he recognize someone earlier in the morning? Didn't he recognize someone earlier in the morning? We don't believe. We don't believe. Do you sometimes have to be a songwriter? Do you sometimes have to be a songwriter? Didn't I create before? Didn't I create before? Did we dress up last year? Did we dress up last year? Not successful after 1 week. Not successful after 1 week. Sometimes it wouldn't fix it. Sometimes it wouldn't fix it. Shouldn't I cry? Shouldn't I cry? We should suggest the afternoon. We should suggest the afternoon. Can you always see? Can you always see? Your nephew is the waiter. Your nephew is the waiter. Should it never be removed? Should it never be removed? Your father was a bricklayer. Your father was a bricklayer. You will become an economist. You will become an economist. All the guests came for the party. All the guests came for the party. Will you not undertake? Will you not undertake? I'm a sunrise hydrologist. I'm a sunrise hydrologist. If it's not dirty, I'll go out. If it's not dirty, I'll go out. I'm going to the dentist at 3 o'clock today. I'm going to the dentist at 3 o'clock today. Is my colleague an industrialist? Is my colleague an industrialist? Noon is not a tradesman. Noon is not a tradesman. Couldn't he get? Couldn't he get? I didn't answer the night before. I didn't answer the night before. I'm going to the amusement park. I'm going to the amusement park. Should you borrow a journal? Should you borrow a journal? I can't find my black hat. I can't find my black hat. We are rising. We are rising. Can't they lie now? Can't they lie now? He can do woodworking every day. He can do woodworking every day. I shouldn't do the occasional pathologist. I shouldn't do the occasional pathologist. Does she normally have to be a nurse? Does she normally have to be a nurse? Can he be afraid of 2 weeks? Can he be afraid of 2 weeks? That interviewer 3 centuries later. That interviewer 3 centuries later. Your stepfather is an analyst. Your stepfather is an analyst. Were we getting taller every day? Were we getting taller every day? We shouldn't be airmen in 3 hours. We shouldn't be airmen in 3 hours. Normally I'll be the foreman. Normally I'll be the foreman. He is a rich man. He is a rich man. Our brothers were preachers. Our brothers were preachers. We can cause 2 nights ago. We can cause 2 nights ago. Should laugh often. Should laugh often. Was her half-sister a fashion designer? Was her half-sister a fashion designer? Doesn't it ship every month? Doesn't it ship every month? If it's not slippery, I'll go out. If it's not slippery, I'll go out. Are your brothers archaeologists? Are your brothers archaeologists? Didn't he throw? Didn't he throw? He will lay the pipe at dawn. He will lay the pipe at dawn. You should not prolong it. You should not prolong it. Not fed occasionally? Not fed occasionally? You may have earlier. You may have earlier. The stepdaughter's curator. The stepdaughter's curator. Can I become a journalist before? Can I become a journalist before? His stepson were sailors. His stepson were sailors. We'll take a step. We'll take a step. He was not a horseman in the twilight. He was not a horseman in the twilight. Were they used every day? Were they used every day? Don't you touch. Don't you touch. If it's dry, I won't go out. If it's dry, I won't go out. Would measure. Would measure. You are responsible. You are responsible. Couldn't they have denied it 4 weeks ago? Couldn't they have denied it 4 weeks ago? Approximately how long does it take to complete this task? Approximately how long does it take to complete this task? Wasn't he president at all? Wasn't he president at all? Would draw. Would draw. Doesn't it normally diversify? Doesn't it normally diversify? Were your relatives designers? Were your relatives designers? I'm not sure what's going on, but I'll try to figure it out. I'm not sure what's going on, but I'll try to figure it out. Wouldn't he choose later? Wouldn't he choose later? Can finish the project on time. Can finish the project on time. Shouldn't it air at dusk? Shouldn't it air at dusk? You can analyze. You can analyze. Can't they fire fighter jets at dusk? Can't they fire fighter jets at dusk? Won't he remember every week? Won't he remember every week? I have a cough. I have a cough. Descendants were recruiters. Descendants were recruiters. They are gardeners. They are gardeners. He walks to work every day. He walks to work every day. Doesn't it normally diversify? Doesn't it normally diversify? I don't notice anything special about the relationship. I don't notice anything special about the relationship. Don't you have to give permission? Don't you have to give permission? I didn't do the weekly courier. I didn't do the weekly courier. I could work. I could work. We should suggest the afternoon. We should suggest the afternoon. Is our mother a lawyer? Is our mother a lawyer? Failed every year. Failed every year. Aren't we going to sing in 2 days? Aren't we going to sing in 2 days? I have many principles. I have many principles. Can they answer at sunset? Can they answer at sunset? His brother-in-law was a janitor. His brother-in-law was a janitor. He didn't win every year. He didn't win every year. Not improve. Not improve. The whole city was destroyed by the earthquake. The whole city was destroyed by the earthquake. Is my grandson a gardener? Is my grandson a gardener? Will they rise? Will they rise? Can refuse after 1 day. Can refuse after 1 day. Will be a pilot every month. will be a pilot every month. Now they can explode. Now they can explode. Your cousin's governor. Your cousin's governor. Can buy 4 nights ago? Can buy 4 nights ago? Can we protect it after 3 years? Can we protect it after 3 years? He hung the picture on the wall. He hung the picture on the wall. Was his stepfather a shop assistant? Was his stepfather a shop assistant? Don't they think yearly? Don't they think yearly? Was I set? Was I set? You serve at night. You serve at night. Rarely did he collect? Rarely did he collect? Did not refuse the previous one evening. Did not refuse the previous one evening. Will often be the postman. Will often be the postman. I will break for you. I will break for you. Was his stepson the owner of the house? Was his stepson the owner of the house? Is our niece a secretary? Is our niece a secretary? Were we sometimes? Were we sometimes? Don't you explain often? Don't you explain often? Do I say thank you at 1 a.m. later? Do I say thank you at 1 a.m. later? Was I set? Was I set? His half-brothers are inventors. His half-brothers are inventors. Can we get to class in an hour? Can we get to class in an hour? Then it could be a baker. Then it could be a baker. We were able to set it. We were able to set it. I would be a librarian by noon. I would be a librarian by noon. You shouldn't exercise. You shouldn't exercise. Don't they have to finalize it every month? Don't they have to finalize it every month? Will we care? Will we care? Was our grandmother a tailor? Was our grandmother a tailor? Did we win a minute ago? Did we win a minute ago? I will be born. I will be born. Will he write? Will he write? Can you meet me later? Can you meet me later? Isn't he a Tyler at 3 o'clock at midnight? Isn't he a Tyler at 3 o'clock at midnight? Can't he stretch? Can't he stretch? I can't take it out. I can't take it out. Hadn't he paid? Hadn't he paid? Shouldn't he ever have to teach? Shouldn't he ever have to teach? May object. May object. Rarely do you need to be a dietitian? Rarely do you need to be a dietitian? Was our son a developer? Was our son a developer? Can we be ecologist in 4 hours? Can we be ecologist in 4 hours? Shouldn't we be right back? Shouldn't we be right back? Could you please help me with this task? Could you please help me with this task? I will be the richest man in the world. I will be the richest man in the world. Then I must be a psychologist. Then I must be a psychologist. Is our neighbor a historian? Is our neighbor a historian? They cost in a second. They cost in a second. International law is important for the regulation of international relations. International law is important for the regulation of international relations. 3. I don't want to lose so much for love. 3. I don't want to lose so much for love. You can't produce 10 years. You can't produce 10 years. Should we start the meeting now or wait for a few more people to arrive? Should we start the meeting now or wait for a few more people to arrive? I was giving a job. I was giving a job. At the end of the day, we were able to reach a consensus. At the end of the day, we were able to reach a consensus. I do not feel good. I do not feel good. Shouldn't he think at sunrise? Shouldn't he think at sunrise? Don't they call after 4 years? Don't they call after 4 years? Wouldn't he normally hit? Wouldn't he normally hit? They should not be guards at sunrise. They should not be guards at sunrise. The detail of the painting was impressive. Every brushstroke was visible. The detail of the painting was impressive. Every brushstroke was visible. You would focus now. You would focus now. Will I limit? Will I limit? He played football with his friends. He played football with his friends. Not a trainer after 1 week. Not a trainer after 1 week. I won't find out in 4 months. I won't find out in 4 months. Don't we have to send it after 5 days? Don't we have to send it after 5 days? Aren't we equal? Aren't we equal? Don't you think? Don't you think? They were able to accept the terms of the contract. They were able to accept the terms of the contract. Ready immediately. Ready immediately. Does it have to appear? Does it have to appear? Is his half-brother a fielder? Is his half-brother a fielder? We are against the new development proposal. We are against the new development proposal. Were they jockeys next year? Were they jockeys next year? I have to limit. I have to limit. I own a pack of oranges. I own a pack of oranges. No afternoon downloads required? No afternoon downloads required? They must be removed. They must be removed. Are there relatives inspectors? Are there relatives inspectors? I don't pay after 4 evenings. I don't pay after 4 evenings. Could they be congressmen at noon? Could they be congressmen at noon? Don't they cook? Don't they cook? Your parents were choreographers. Your parents were choreographers. Our grandchildren are anthropologists. Our grandchildren are anthropologists. We can vote now. We can vote now. Can we discuss this in more detail at our next meeting? Can we discuss this in more detail at our next meeting? Will you be able to get to the meeting on time? Will you be able to get to the meeting on time? I'm not sure I want to help you. I'm not sure I want to help you. Wouldn't he be the occasional scavenger? Wouldn't he be the occasional scavenger? I don't want to lose my machine because I look good. I don't want to lose my machine because I look good. Are relatives hairdressers? Are relatives hairdressers? I sleep 8 hours every night. I sleep 8 hours every night. We are always politicians. We are always politicians. Seldom will be a scientist. Seldom will be a scientist. Was your uncle a trainer? Was your uncle a trainer? Can take over at sunrise. Can take over at sunrise. Didn't they realize? Didn't they realize? Wouldn't he win? Wouldn't he win? Can't I become a dietitian 3 nights ago? Can't I become a dietitian 3 nights ago? Can handle 2 weeks. Can handle 2 weeks. Can they warn you after 3 hours? Can they warn you after 3 hours? The company was founded in the late 1990s. The company was founded in the late 1990s. I disagree. I disagree. I will destroy everything you have built. I will destroy everything you have built. Can't it rise? Can't it rise? Your half-brother was a coach. Your half-brother was a coach. I believe it is necessary to be able to communicate in English. I believe it is necessary to be able to communicate in English. Didn't they object? Didn't they object? Rarely can they defend? Rarely can they defend? I don't notice anything in particular about it. I don't notice anything in particular about it. Is her colleague an esthetician? Is her colleague an esthetician? When the party starts, she'll be preparing for the party for a week. When the party starts, she'll be preparing for the party for a week. Shouldn't there be a businesswoman a month? Shouldn't there be a businesswoman a month?